Okay, so you all know that the first effective biological weapon was produced by the UK in the Second World War, and you all know that that was followed by the main information developed by the UK being sent to the US and being the foundation of the huge offensive biological weapons program carried out over 2.5 decades by the United States, which led to the weaponization of a large number of anti-personnel, anti-plant and anti-animal biological weapons. What you may not know is that Professor Matthew Meselson of Harvard, a molecular biologist, was one of the people who provided scientific advice to President Nixon, which led to President Nixon closing the huge offensive of US biological weapons program down. And that led then to, after the suggestion from the UK, to the negotiation of the Biological and Toxic Weapons Convention in the early 1970s. Matt wrote a piece for the bulletin produced by Harvard Sussex program in 2000, titled Averting the Hostile Exploitation of Biotechnology. And he posed the problem to us. As all previous revolutions in science and technology have been applied in a major way to hostile purposes, can we have the sense to avoid this happening to biotechnology, certain to be a major element in the economies of all countries during this century? Now, it's quite clear that in order to achieve that objective, many different people will have to act at many different levels. But it's also clear that scientists have a major role in this preventive exercise. And it's in relation to that preventive role that we have to consider what to do about dual-use research and biosecurity. And so I think it's Simon said, an extremely complicated, difficult problem. And we may not be able to solve it. As all previous major revolutions have been applied in a hostile way, then it seems very likely that this one will as well. But that's not inevitable. As my friends at Sussex always say, the trajectory of a science and technology is not determined by the science and technology, it's also determined by what the society decides to do about it. So, with that cheery message, I hope there are some questions.